Un grand merci à Katara d'avoir fait le devoir. Out of the hundreds of people that have watched the video, you are one of the few people that actually completed the homework. And because of that, I wanted to take your comment and turn it into a little bit of a learning moment for everyone and just give some feedback so that we can all learn. So, this is going to turn into a mini French lesson. Thank you very much for helping me with that. I always tell my students, the more you participate, the more you practice, the more you learn. So let's take a look at your first sentence. J'ai appris le français depuis 2 ans. So this one here, I'm guessing you're trying to say you've been learning French for 2 years. So in French, when you are using depuis to say since or ever since, and it is an action or a verb that is still ongoing. So if you are still learning French at this moment, if you are still learning French, continuing to learn French up to this moment, when you use depuis in this case, you would put it in the present tense. So what is the correct way to say it? You would say, j'apprends le français depuis 2 ans. J'apprends le français depuis 2 ans. And if you look at all the sentences in my previous video where this comment came from, all of the sentences in which the action is continuing to the present moment, all of them are using depuis and in present tense. Now the question is, what if you meant you learned French for 2 years and you stopped learning French? That could be something someone wants to say. What if you want to say, I tried learning French for 2 years and no longer doing so at the moment? So in this case, it would not be with depuis. Because depuis, again, it's with something that is current. It would be with pendant. J'ai appris le français pendant 2 ans. J'ai appris le français pendant 2 ans. That means you learned French for 2 years. In this case, you use the past tense because the action is not happening anymore. The other part of the sentence I wanted to correct is the second one. I love the way you use depuis que. Now with this second part of the sentence is very interesting because after depuis que, you can use a passé composé. It's good that you use the past tense here. With depuis que, you can use the past tense, unlike depuis. But if you want to make this sound a bit better, I would recommend saying depuis que j'ai commencé à apprendre le français, da 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 da. Because when you say depuis que j'ai commencé, it's like ever since I started learning French, you know? So I thought it would be helpful to do a little bit of a side by side comparison. In the first one, depuis que j'ai appris le français, I'm not too much of a fan of this because when you say j'ai appris le français, it is using passé composé, which means it is implying that the action has been completed. But if you're still learning French, it would be better to say depuis que j'ai commencé because j'ai commencé is something that has happened in the past and it is an action that is completed. You started French. You started learning. So that could absolutely work. So you could say depuis que j'ai commencé à apprendre le français, j'ai gagné beaucoup de confiance. And the sentence is much better that way. Thank you again so much for doing the homework. Because of you, we all learned something today. Thank you so much.